Alright guys, just a quick overview of my adult ackie cage. So first off, it's sitting on a 70-gallon water trough made for livestock. The foil part on the bottom is actually insulation taped over a heat pad that's put up against the side there. Originally that was put there to heat the substrate for egg laying purposes. I no longer have a female yellow ackie, so now it's just there because he seems to like it when it gets a little cooler in here at night. I have my light switches here. These are all, well, if the brightness will stay up so you can see them. These are all attached to one cable for power, so I don't have 3 different power cords. Makes it a lot easier finding enough plugs. This is a Zoomed PowerSun UVB and heat bulb. I use that about 6 to 7 hours a day. That's also a full spectrum bulb, but it's more for general ambient light. It's not really close enough to him to get too much use out of it. It does help when I occasionally put live plants in. It'll help keep those alive a little longer. And then after about 6 to 7 hours of the UV PowerSun bulb, I'll turn that off and I'll flip on this bulb, which is just a 35-watt halogen floodlight, and he'll use that for the evening time, or late afternoon, early evening time heat. Lots of places to hide. This big rock here, this big piece of slate, is rested on that log, so he can get, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but he can get underneath it, under there, and he can hide. The rock can't fall on him. Lots of cork bark everywhere. Big cork tube here, it's big enough for me to put my arm through. Another one here, also big enough for me to put my arm through. He's got this other kind of half cork tube that's laid across it he's laying on right now. There's another entrance to that big cork tube there, underneath there, behind the grass. That is fake grass, by the way. Sometimes he'll get underneath these rocks, he'll burrow down into there, but he's not big on burrowing. He likes to stay up higher most of the time. When he was younger and small enough, he'd get up there and hide on top of the light box. Top of this cage measures 48 wide, 30 inches tall, and 30 inches deep. The trough, I believe, is 24 or 23 inches across. Something like that. I forget the exact measurement, but and the substrate is a mixture of different kinds of soil, mostly sand and desert sand, things like that. It does have some peat moss and stuff mixed in. It's dry on about the first 3 or 4 inches of it, and then underneath all the moisture is retained. So the humidity in here stays relatively high, 70–80%. Depending, between waterings, it gets a little drier, but occasionally, like I said, I do put in live plants. But because the cage stays so hot, they don't usually last very long. I don't know what plants to use in here other than house plants, and the house plants aren't made for the high heat that's in this cage. General temperatures throughout during the hottest part of the day, the cage ambient temperature on that side of the tank, or the cage, whatever you want to call it, and up towards the top is around 110. The lower you get in the cage, like where he's sitting now, the basking surface temperature will be about 130, but the air temperature will be about 100 to 105, and of course it varies throughout the cage. this part of this corner where the heat pad is on the outside, the dirt ranges from the hottest point at about 100 degrees and fades out from there. So about 6-7 inches away from the sidewall, it's right around 80-82 degrees. So it works out pretty well as a substrate heater. Occasionally it gets a little cool here in the garage at night, so on those nights he'll usually sleep underneath this rock on top of that where the dirt has stayed warm. You know, I don't know what else to tell you about it other than that. If you have any questions, let me know. Give you one last glimpse of him. Say goodbye, Fafnir.